Dueling Dialogues is brought to you by our affiliates at hostpapa.com. Click the banner on the rightleftchronicles.com for premium unlimited web hosting with the highest rated reviews at the lowest prices. Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 121. I'm Connor Murphy, here with Grace Matthews. Hi, Grace. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. You know, it's really cooled off, so it feels like winter all of a sudden.
Wow. Well, we're supposed to get cooler temperatures next week and more rain.
Yeah, you guys have had the heat.
Yeah, we have. We've had the heat. You guys have had
snow,
cold and rain. Snow? You've had snow too?
Yeah, well, not here, but
yeah. Up in elevation?
Yeah, in the interior, Alberta also has snow, but they have kind of wild weather. I think the last snowfall they had was April 22nd this year, so not a lot of months in between those snowfalls.
No, not enough. Not enough for one like me, but we also have to mention those people that went through Florence. They are still experiencing flooding. The rivers and lakes, it's going to crest.
Wow.
Sometime around Thursday, and it's going to be like they're just re-experiencing.
Unreal.
Many of those towns and cities are like islands.
Wow.
They're basically, you can't get to them.
Right, they're cut off.
The roads are flooded. They're cut off from humanity.
Wow.
I think the last I heard, they're at 34 deaths. So.
Oh, no.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to those people.
Yes, for sure. So what do we got today?
Oh my gosh. Could it get any more like a junior high school?
Probably. I would say yes.
Okay. The Congress and the Senate have to be the most childish group of people I have ever seen in my life.
In regards to Kavanaugh?
In regards to everything, but right now we are talking about Kavanaugh.
Okay.
They are silly. Okay? First of all, what are they doing up there?
I'm not sure. I've been out of the loop on this one.
There is so much planning into this, planning and plotting. You feel like these people are from two different governments.
Well, they almost are. There's the Democrats and the Republicans.
Yeah, well, it's almost like the Russians and the Chinese. I mean,
it's that bad.
It is that bad. Okay, so just to catch you up, since you've been sleeping up there in Canada.
Yes, shoveling snow.
Yeah. Judge Kavanaugh was supposed to be voted out of committee on Thursday. That means the committee would vote that his confirmation could move to the Senate floor. And the whole body of the Senate could vote yay or nay. If enough vote yay, he becomes the next Supreme Court justice.
Right.
Okay, they have been doing this and working on this confirmation now for 3 or 4 months. He has met privately with most all the senators, if not all. He has undergone questioning in the Senate Judiciary Committee. That's easy for someone else to say. Okay, and so we think we're close to a vote.
Okay.
There's been a lot of mudslinging through this whole thing. We know that because the Democrats really do not want Trump to have this pick. And they certainly don't want this pick voted in before midterms.
Right. Okay.
Well, pretty much every softball, hardball, rock, whatever, that the Democrats have thrown during this process, it has failed. This is a pretty upstanding kind of guy. This is a guy that has already gone through 6 confirmations as a judge and White House counsel for George W. Bush. I mean, so how much more dirt can you dig up?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Now, I did have a lot of opinions, some 300, and so that kind of concerned me because they would want to read them all, and I kind of sort of thought when he's kind of time is an issue that Trump would have chosen somebody that didn't have quite as many opinions to be hashed there. But
Yeah.
we got through that.
Right.
Okay, just so happens back in July, now you got to remember this is the end of September. Back in July, Dianne Feinstein received a letter from a constituent that said that back in high school, Judge Kavanaugh, who was just Brett Kavanaugh, the kid, groped her. Well, at first it came out it was like raped her at a party, but really now that you kind of dig through the crud, okay?
Right.
He had a friend that was supposed to have held her down while he groped her.
Huh. Okay.
Now, Dianne Feinstein. Now, this woman wanted to remain anonymous, which is kind of difficult in one of these. I mean, I sort of respect that, but
it
when
doesn't
you
work.
come
No.
forward, if
You
you're
come
not
forward,
willing
yeah.
to come forward, then don't come forward.
Shut the hell up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or come forward. Yeah.
Right. So, be that as it may, Dianne Feinstein turns it over to the FBI. The FBI goes through it and decides there's no there there.
Right. Right.
Okay? Well, so she pulls it out of the bag last week.
Okay, so she supposedly sat on this letter for a month, over a month?
Yeah, about 3 months.
Wow. Okay.
Okay? So, somehow, though, over the weekend, some blog site got a hold of this woman's name, or maybe Dianne Feinstein got the okay to release this woman's name. I've heard every which way. Nevertheless, the woman's name is now released. She is a professor of psychology. Her name is Christine Blasey-Ford.
Okay.
Okay? This incident happened 36 years ago.
Wow, I can't remember what I did yesterday, never mind 36 years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't remember what I had at lunch for an hour ago. So, anyway.
Oh, okay. This just seems like this was they're smoking ace in the hole, you know,
well,
and last minute, okay, nothing else, shots fired, nothing hit, so here you go. Here's our ace.
Exactly. And it's always the ace now is very trendy. It's always the Me Too thing.
Yeah, but that has been really a failure.
Yeah. Yeah. It really has. I don't know, though. It's been a good way of cleaning house.
Yeah.
ABC just had it, lost their VP.
Well, I also pretty sure that a lot of innocent people also lost their jobs or whatever over this. So
yeah, especially when you can go back this far. We were talking about 20 years. Now we have 36 years.
Yeah, and Hollywood didn't get cleaned up at all. I'm sure Hollywood's the same old Hollywood. So
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm sure the couch is still sitting there.
To me, an outsider looking in, this is the last attempt at derailing Kavanaugh.
Well, yeah, and I think really what they care more about, rather than her or Kavanaugh, is just delaying it.
Right, until after
because it's really about midterms, so they don't give a about her.
Wow.
Okay, so the vote will not go on Thursday.
Okay, so it's working
they
so
have
far.
both been, yeah, exactly. They have both been invited to tell their story on Monday. Kavanaugh's ready to go. He says, I wasn't even there at the party, which I hope to shout he wasn't. I hope that he's telling the truth because, first of all, she will have to prove he was at the party. It's hard to grope somebody if you're not there.
Yeah, pretty much. And 36 years ago?
Yeah.
That is a long time ago.
Exactly. And I will tell you that I pretty much gave credit. I thought she might be telling the truth. Or at least that it happened. Now, whether this is the right guy, was she drinking? Was she smoking doobs? Was she doing drugs? I mean, I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I do know if there's an incident, and if you've had an incident that scares you and you feel threatened, you remember everything. You remember every detail, You remember the smells, the tastes,
But it should come out when it happens.
Well, that's true.
Not 36 years from
So,
then.
she's not remembering those details.
Well,
okay?
the human brain
now, they
can...
say that she passed a polygraph in August.
Yeah.
That doesn't really... At first I go, okay, maybe it happened. But now I'm having second thoughts about that because she has not accepted the invitation to come talk about the incident.
Right.
I mean,
and
it's not just her life that's being affected here. She's affecting a man, a country, and children. She's got to come talk about it, even if it's difficult.
Yeah, I'd say.
And was this a false memory?
Yeah, exactly. That was my point that I was trying to get out. It's 36 years. The human brain can fabricate so much stuff in 36 years.
And you could pass a polygraph on it.
Exactly. So I can't see a polygraph even standing in this case because 36 years to fabricate a memory, and your brain will do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, ladies, you got to come out when it happens.
Yeah, and you have to wonder why she would have let him become a judge, why she would have, because surely, you would be in the background watching someone's high-profile career if they had done this to you. Yeah.
If she was scared to come forward, what makes now so different,
Exactly. So Senator Grassley said, if she does not come forward or at least answer the request, then, they're going to go ahead with the vote next week to get it out of committee. Now, they could go ahead and just send it to the floor. And I don't know why they could do that, but my understanding is they could. So is she going to answer? There's a lot of people out there that said, well, there's 12 men on this committee. Maybe there should be a woman asking the question. Okay, get her a woman to ask the questions. Okay? But whatever accommodations she needs, she's got to talk to this committee.
Yeah.
A whole lot is riding on this. And, of course, the Democrats are using their, 90 Ways to Sunday to try to stall the vote.
Right, absolutely.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah, or at least push it past the midterms.
It is just nuts. And, of course, mainstream TV has already convicted him.
Yeah, well, I saw a lot of mainstream TV this weekend. These reporters standing up in their waist in water and giving the broadcast, and then you see the wider shot, and they're standing in a ditch. Yeah. And the cameraman's standing...
And there's people walking behind
them.
Yeah. There was a guy just walking right behind him.
Yeah, in shorts. There was two guys in shorts walking behind the guy that was supposedly couldn't stand because of the wind. And those guys in the shorts were like having a leisurely stroll. So it was... Yeah,
that was like the Weather Channel, I think it was. That was bad.
Yeah, and then CNN, because it was...
Anderson?
Anderson. Yeah, standing in up to his waist in water in the ditch. Like, man, you're getting...
why? Yeah, they're getting so deceitful.
Yeah. And there was things in the past, and I thought it was just some sort of propaganda, but one of the ones I remember is the Boston bombing.
Yes.
And they had crews on the street, and they supposedly were talking to someone in the Pentagon, and in the background you see the same delivery truck drive by. So they were sitting like a block apart.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you're getting called out as fake, and then you go and do this stuff. It just
and then you blame the fake comments on the president.
Yeah. So it's a head
he's
scratcher.
Just calling it what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And Congress and the Senate are behaving much the same way as the media. In fact, it's like they're all part of the same big club.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we only did one recording last week. Censorship.
Exactly. We are getting censored a lot. We've been getting censored ever since we started this show. We have not been able to run an ad on Twitter. And every time they come up with some sort of, you've got the wrong website on there, or, you know, and I mean, every time it's not true, but you go, okay, I fixed it. And they go, okay. And you still can't run the ads, which is, I really did think it was a glitch with us till I started learning that's how they censor.
Wow.
I mean, others are experiencing this too. But there also seems to be this other element going on. When you post the show, it's getting flagged. And we had a lot of trouble with our show last week about John McCain's vote on healthcare.
Wow.
It took us 3 days to get that show posted. One entity did not even get it posted till today because they don't like the nature of the topic.
Unreal.
I mean, these are guys that bash John McCain. I don't understand why suddenly...
Well, he turned on Trump.
Yeah, yeah, you know? You're right. I guess we do understand it.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, his daughter brought it into his death.
Right.
If you ask me, she brought the revenge when she spoke about Trump and the voters the way she did at his funeral.
Yeah.
She joined The View. What could be a more hateful show than The View? I mean, I can't even stand to watch it with Whoopi and Joy Behar, and I can't believe that Abby Huntsman, who is a good friend of hers, went to The View.
Huh.
And it's very sad.
Yeah. Wow. So what we're basically living in a communist kind of society now that we're being censored like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that turned really quick, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. I noticed that Facebook must be in bed with Big Pharma as well, because they seem to be blocking anything cannabis or marijuana related, whether it's medical or not medical.
Really?
Yeah, if you go up to the Facebook search and you search for groups or anything like that, it just doesn't find anything. Imagine that. Even though there's millions of groups and medical cannabis websites. Yeah, they've basically stopped anybody from finding anything new.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean,
I am shocked.
When the whole nation is not only your nation, our nation, the entire world has got a bad opiate crisis. Here we are pulling back on a possible solution and censoring it. So
well, yeah, and Coca-Cola is looking to bottle, probably in Canada first, a cannabis drink.
Wow.
You know, a CBD.
Yeah.
Drink, and that would probably be first time because the researcher happens to be Canadian.
Well, there you go.
And so,
well, it's probably
that was released yesterday, so it's becoming mainstream.
Yeah,
so
for
the
sure.
The fact that you're right that Facebook has suddenly gotten, you know, some sort of anti-cannabis religion is odd.
There was also a lot in the media here in Canada stating that if you actually do take cannabis or you invest in a cannabis company, you're no longer allowed in the United States.
Really?
Yes. So that went around all weekend long.
Wow. It's getting a little crazy.
Yeah, and
I mean, socialism is peeking its head into our society.
Yeah,
in very odd ways.
Well, what's really going on is there's, even though they're saying this is going to be legalization in Canada, it's more like regulation.
Yeah.
Because there's actually stricter penalties once their supposed legalization occurs on October 17th. And basically what they've done is funneled everything cannabis related through big corporations and the government. So our Canadian government is essentially going to be the biggest drug dealer in the world here very shortly.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. So people are like me that, you know, have been on medical cannabis for a while basically aren't calling this legalization. We're calling it legislation because it's far from legalization. So yeah. I don't know what's going to happen because right now in and around where I live, we have a lot of independent dispensaries, and the actual testing of products and stuff is way more advanced than the Canadian government is even taking it. So it's very interesting that we have this local entity that is doing this and managing all of these dispensaries. So right now there's pretty much nothing out there that you can't get locally here, cannabis related, from creams and edibles to pills and whatever, you name it, soft drinks. And so right now all those things will be illegal other than weed, essentially. So our legislation,
really weird.
Yeah. So they've delayed for years trying to put in all of these laws and legislation, trying to pass it off as legalization, and they're years behind the industry, just locally here. Years behind them. They're still measuring cannabis on CBD and THC levels. Well, there's like 19 elements or compounds or whatever in the cannabis that, like, good things. So we have way more advanced measurement systems. They use a spectrum analyzer here, which is like, I think, a $10,000 machine. So it's very antiquated, the laws already, and they haven't even put them into in across
that
Parliament.
sounds like something we would do here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, it really is. It really does sound like the United States.
Yes.
And not Canada.
You need the right people to make the laws. You need people that know stuff about it, not
not
politicians.
What do they know about it?
Exactly.
It's just like when the hearings went on about Google and Facebook. I mean, what did they know about technology, those old guys? Not much. We learned not much at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they couldn't even ask relative questions that made sense. Yeah. So, when laws need to be created, or you're wanting to create laws, you got to talk to the experts, the people that are actually in the industry, and take that as input. But yeah, it's very strange the way things are going. Don't know what's going to happen to all the local dispensaries and stuff. No idea what's going to happen. No idea what's going to happen to online sales either. So, none of that stuff is really covered in the legislation, and has a blanket thing that you could be charged with and spend 10 years in jail for. It's just doesn't make a lot of sense. So while a lot of people are supposedly celebrating legalization, those of us that are in the know are really, it's just no big deal. It's going to screw up our industry.
Exactly. But, a lot of people don't know, so they think it's a big deal.
I guess, and the worst thing that people seem to be saying is, oh, well, how are you going to know when someone's driving stoned? Well, it's much different than if they're driving drunk. It's much different. So I'm really afraid that there's going to be innocent people that are going to lose their licenses or be charged with some sort of crime because they think they're stoned. So I don't really know what's going to happen.
That's another layer of problems, that's for sure.
Yeah, but it's much different than being drunk. Drunk, you can't function. You can still function easily on a little bit of cannabis. So, as a matter of fact, I think you pay more attention if you've had cannabis.
Well, that's probably where that old tale about being paranoid comes from. That would be being ultra sensitive and aware, right?
Yeah.
You can't be paranoid without being ultra aware.
That's probably a part of it for sure. So yeah, I don't know. October 17th is coming up. So
yeah, very, very soon, like 1 month.
Right. But people will be allowed to grow 4 plants per household. Yeah, which they enact in fall, which doesn't help anybody in Canada thinking of growing it in their garden, right? So they can't grow it till next year. They have to wait a year. I guess there's indoor growing if you want to burn up all that hydro or whatever. But yeah. I just went ahead and plopped a few babies in the garden this year, though. So I'll post the pictures.
Good for you.
I'll post my pictures on October 17th because they're gonna do like a 4-foot growth in one day.
That'll be amazing.
Yes, we can agree there.
Yes, and we don't always agree, but life's a journey, and we're all in this together. Godspeed, Connor. Godspeed to all of our friends out there.
Godspeed, Grace, and thanks for listening, everyone.
Dueling Dialogues is brought to you by our affiliates at hostpapa.com. Click the banner on the rightleftchronicles.com for premium unlimited web hosting with the highest rated reviews at the lowest prices.